Oh yeah.
Too bad, but you want more room there. So
Yeah.
you obviously want a deeper bar.
Right.
Sets out a little bit more. So if you went with like probably like a D,
Mm-hmm.
and then just moved the foot out to a 5, it would fit you. You're stretching out a little bit. But as long as you're aware of that, so when you go to make this turn, once you get out on the road, you won't have any problems. So it's just going to be in this turn right here.
Okay.
So all I want you to do is, we're going to go up to the first cone. I just want you to show me a stop. You're going to roll around to the left. See that stop sign over there?
Stop at the stop.
You're going to stop at the stop. You're going to make a right turn, come around, follow this yellow line. There's a stop sign here.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically roll back around. And once you're here, we'll send you out and you'll follow Paul on a ride.
Okay.
Okay. I will tell you, as far as the road ride goes, Paul does the speed limit. We're really close to it. Stops at stop signs and stuff. We get a lot of the guys out here and it's like, can't we go? I want to really feel it. We don't want you to get a ticket.
Understood.
We don't want anything to happen. So
Follow Paul. Play with the rules.
There's a reason why he does it.
Absolutely.
So just to be safe, so you have a fun ride.
Okay.
So go ahead and you got your foot on it. So put it in gear. Oh, it's in. Okay, take your parking brake off. Remember when you come back to put the parking brake on before you turn it off. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Wow, that changed so the pedal. As soon as I turned it off, the pedal popped up.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Okay.
So all I want you to do right now is don't go anywhere. Just turn it all the way left. Turn it all the way right. I just want you to see how you grabbed it a little bit.
Yeah.
That's okay. So go ahead and go forward to that first cone and stop.
Wow, that's.
Stop sign over there and stop. Follow it around to the other stop sign.
That is very interesting.
This turn is going to be a little bit different, but kind of offset a little bit towards the orange cone, make the U-turn and come back.
All right.
And then once Paul's ready, you'll be ready to go. So all I have you do is just kind of like go and pull up there in between those cones, and once he's ready to roll, he'll pull in front of you.
All right.
Be safe.
Yep.
Have fun.
Thank you. Oh, wow. All right, everybody on YouTube, if you haven't realized, it's Wingnut, and I'm on a Can-Am Spyder. Wow. Yeah. So they're doing demo days here at All Out Motorcycles, or All Out Cycles in Chesapeake. So,
I love it, man. I have a F3.
So this is the first time being on one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, man, I used to ride bikes as well. I bought a 2010, and then I came back and got one of these. I love it.
All right.
I love it.
It's neat so far.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. So, definitely. Cool.
And it's got some power, too.
That's what I'm talking about. All right. So, yeah, definitely interesting. So, it runs a Rotax engine. I believe this is the 1350. And if I make any mistakes when I say something, I'm going to put a little subtitle at the bottom, so you know, as usual. But this is a very interesting bike as far as how it feels. It steers a lot like a four-wheeler. So no counter steer. So as we go, I'll kind of go into it a bit more because it's quite wild. So starting is quite interesting, actually. So when you turn it off, you have to make sure your parking brake's on. To do anything, you have to put your foot on the brake. So your brake controls starting, putting it in gear, and also putting in reverse, which it has reverse too. So it's quite neat. In a moment, a guy named Paul is going to come out and he's going to give me a quick ride. He's going to show me where to go. I like the color though. I just don't know how it feels. It's like you don't lean. It's very, very stable compared to a motorcycle. Yes, sir. And there's Paul. In a little bit, I say a little bit, in the next couple of videos, I'll be doing a gear review on the new gear I've gotten since the accident. So, getting used to it. Wow, it is a lot like a four-wheeler. Not having the hand controls is kind of maddening right now, but this is psychotic. Push button shifting. Wow. This is something else. And you really have to stay in the lane, like. You really do have to stay in the lane, like you own that lane. So, yeah, this is pretty crazy. I'm digging it. As you can see from the one in front of me, you know, wide configuration, 1350cc engine. They are adjustable, so this can be adjusted more for somebody in my height. They have like a 4-position adjustment. If you forget to downshift by using the push button, it will downshift for you. So this thing definitely is the bee's knees as far as if someone just wants to ride something. It's quite comfortable to ride, and once again, no counter steer. So it's a lot like a four-wheeler. For my size, the handlebars tend to hit the legs at this position, but they can be adjusted all the way out to a 5. Upshift is with the plus sign right here, and it's got all the bells and whistles. So, oh man, it's got some pull to it. Definitely different. Definitely different. Definitely would need different handlebars for me. Okay. So you don't have to actually back up on it, you can just shift. So you don't have to crack the throttle off. You don't have to roll off the throttle to shift, it'll actually do it. But man, you got to keep both hands on these steering wheels. This is just interesting. I don't know how to describe it. It's crazy going from riding a bike where you feel like you lean through your corners and everything else, whereas in this is a lot just more, it feels planted, just like stuck. All right. So trying not to counter steer. It's like relearning how to ride. Keep wanting to roll throttle off to keep up with the RPMs. Wow. So the whole purpose of me doing this actually was because I've never really been a fan of the Can-Am Spyder. I always thought it looked really, really douchey, and I really didn't like how it looked, how it, the concept of it, not being able to lean. And once again, there's tons of technology in this. It's got a reverse, it's got sensors on everything. It even asks you to do T-clocks before you start it. So, there's a lot of bells and whistles to them, even the baseline model. They offer touring models as well. The reason I'm doing this is it's a great opportunity because they're doing demos. And two, I've never ridden one. It's an experience that I do definitely wanted to do. So that I can say, yep, I've ridden one. This is what I think. Automatically downshifted the first for me. Get it up there. It's got some good up and go, man. It's definitely not lacking for power. I don't know, I'm on the fence now that I've tried it. It's just, an ugly dog's an ugly dog, and she's kind of an ugly dog as far as that goes, but it definitely rides nice. It's comfortable. It's with a few ergonomic changes. This bike would be more comfortable for me, but it definitely is a interesting bike, and it's technically not a motorcycle. It's just really its own thing. So yeah, it's going to trek through the Chesapeake and the Great Dismal Swamp. So if you guys have questions about the bike, or you have comments about the bike, or you've actually ridden it yourself, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. Would love to talk to you about it, the experience. We're not going to be able to get it out on the interstate and really open them up. That's just not what they do. But I've gotten her up to 50, and it gets up there fairly easy, and I'm looking for a brake that's not there. It is not a motorcycle. It doesn't ride like a motorcycle. It's fun. It's more like riding a four-wheeler on the street that you probably would not go. And the fact that you don't have the downshift is interesting as well. It makes it more. Shit. I can't find the buttons. Cannot find the buttons. Yeah. So what he was just signaling for was showing me where the shifter was and where the button was. Yeah, definitely a lot more stable. A lot. I keep saying it, but it's a lot like a four-wheeler on the road. I keep looking at my rear view thinking there's a cop behind me because I'm riding a four-wheeler getting it up, but it's not the case. So yeah, definitely different. and not different bad. If I had a large amount of money to spend on multiple styles of motorcycles and fun toys, this would definitely be in the stable. I think I would go with a Daytona model, though. It seems to be a little bit more, sexy, if you have to see it. And I'll put the link down to their website, and then also to All Out Cycles websites below, so you can see it for yourself. And surprisingly, there's no buffeting with this windscreen right here. There's no wind coming up making my head shake. It does have the vents there built into it, so it's allowing that low pressure area to be built. So that's really nice. No buffeting, plenty of air. I'm not getting as much air up into my face as I would like for my full face helmet, but I'm sure you can adjust all sorts of stuff on here. So that's the one thing I like about Can-Am, Sea-Doo, Polaris, products. They definitely make them as adjustable for as many people as possible, and they have tons of accessories. So good deal. Wow, definitely just a neat critter. I got you, Paul. I'm following. We gonna get on the interstate? Oh, hell yes. I spoke too soon earlier. We are. You do have to watch that lean. I spoke too soon. We will be getting out on the interstate. Or at least on a highway for a minute. I had in that truck, but it got me. And it doesn't smell very good because it's all over me. Not only did I get to test drive a Can-Am, oh, it's got a 6th gear. That is awesome. Not only did I get to try a Can-Am, I also got peed on by a semi-truck. Yeah. I can see that. Real easy for this thing to get going. A little bit of buffeting at the top of my head, but a taller windscreen will take care of that. Yeah, fairly impressed. I think we're going to take Kempsville. Are we? Definitely have to take the curves a lot smoother than you would on a bike, or a little bit slower actually. That actual auto downshifting is pretty cool. And they were telling me that when you shut it down, it will put itself in neutral. Ride through a neighborhood. Yeah, it's a lot like a four-wheeler as far as how it feels. So, wow, aren't you just a... Damn dude needs to get his eyes up. The throttle response is real touchy. Once again, you know, actually riding the bike versus being an armchair critic makes a huge difference. I mean, it's a nice machine. I'm not super fond that it doesn't perform like a motorcycle, but it's not a bike. And I am not, it's just different, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, I don't know if I will go out and buy one in the next 6 months, but if I had the opportunity to purchase one to add to a stable of other bikes, I sure as hell would. You know, I mean, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, it is fun, but it's different, and it feels so much more different than anything else. You don't have to put a foot down, which is kind of cool, and you don't have to set off or anything. So yeah, it's pretty neat. I got cruise control. It's got a bunch of modes and electronic crap I'm not getting into. 'Cause I want to feel how it rides. You know, all the bells and whistles are cool, but I want to feel how it rides. That's what I'm here for. And it rides pretty good. You know, it's got a storage compartment right in the center. This is an engine access panel. This is a safety card panel where your cards are kept. So it's definitely different. So, and it's a head turner because people don't see them very often, or well, if they do see them, it's not the typical motorcycle. So yeah, that's cool as well. Just definitely it looks like we were the last ones for the day. Outstanding. Wow. All right. This is definitely an interesting machine. Oh yeah, dude.
I saw him missing the whole way down the road.
Nope.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah, he got me a little bit because he was just draining.
Yeah. Well, no, he had mud and everything else rolling up the back.
Oh yeah, it was just splattering up. There it is, guys. Can-Am Spyder. Cool deal. So, as you've seen from the earlier in this video, this is a previous cut where I had reviewed the Can-Am Spyder. Now, one thing I want you to understand is it's been a little bit of time since I've reviewed that that particular bike, almost a month actually, better part of 3 weeks, and I got to thinking more and more about it after I wrote it, a couple days after I wrote it, and a couple of key points that I want to put in this video, you know, here at the end of the review, is that I was really excited to be riding something new. I was also really excited to be riding something period at that time, because it had already been just over 2 months since, or just over a month and some change since my wreck. So first off, it is like riding a four-wheeler. It has that real kind of top-heavy feel to it when you corner, and you cannot counter steer. So if you've never ridden a bike before and this is your first venture into, you know, life on less than 4 wheels, you probably won't have a problem with it. Having ridden motorcycles a good bit, it was really hard for me not to almost throw myself off the bike, because when you want to start to counter steer, you can't, and it's really easy to lose balance. The second thing is that it dances. The front end dances, like it likes to shimmy back and forth at high speeds, and it's really touchy. I mean, the steering is sharp, it's fast, you know, but that front end dancing, I personally, I don't really, I don't want to say it would turn me off from buying the you know, the Spyder, but it definitely something that you would have to get used to as far as having to control it. But it does worry me some, having, you know, getting the front end wobble or something on a bike, you know, makes you nervous. It's kind of how it feels, even though it's not a necessarily a front end problem. It's just how those two wheels track. So you know how it's really easy to keep a straight line on a motorcycle on a graded road like this, where the water will sweep off. On that, it's like kind of being in a car where it likes to shimmy, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But once again, it's one of those deals where it is a fun vehicle, and I definitely wouldn't keep me from buying one. You know, so those are the two concerns that I have with the vehicle, with the Spyder, on top of everything else. Now, in the video, you'll see that I'm having a damn blast. I'm giggling, I'm laughing, I'm having a great time. It was a fun ride. But having come from riding motorcycles and thinking that I'm going to get on a motorcycle and ride, it's not the same thing. So if you're into bikes and you're thinking of getting one, keep in mind it's closer to riding a four-wheeler than it is to riding a motorcycle. So a lot of the motorcycle stuff we're used to doing, with having, you know, a handlebar in front of us, you really can't do. I do like the integrated brakes on it. That was really cool, having the integrated brakes. The automatic transmission thing, or semi-automatic transmission, or whatever you want to call it, that's kind of weird, but it's a progression in technology. So keep that in mind as well. If you really like to be able to shift and make you can still shift with it. It allows you to push button up and down, but it downshifting on its own, but you have to upshift. It's something to get used to. You know, and I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who's ridden motorcycles and four-wheelers. And the four-wheelers, when I rode them, were manual transmissions. They did have an automatic here or there, but a little bit different. So hey, you know, please, by all means, if you're thinking about purchasing one of these Can-Ams, by all means, test drive one. Do not buy a motorcycle or any vehicle ever without test riding it. It's your money, all right? And if you're going to be spending several thousand, if not tens of thousands of dollars on a vehicle, always test ride it. I would hate for someone to see my review and see how much fun I had with riding the thing and understanding my concerns, but not necessarily, or hearing my concerns, but not necessarily understanding them because you did not ride it yourself. Go to a demo day, go to a dealership and say, look man, I want to buy this, I'm interested, but I don't want to buy this without spending money, or without test driving. I won't spend this money without test driving. So please, 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 please test ride the vehicle before you purchase. Make your own decision. This whole video has pretty much been how I looked at it, and then how I looked at it several weeks later after I've had time to digest the amount of information that I was given with all of it. So, use at your own risk is, I guess, the easiest way to say this. But hey everybody, this is Wingnut. It's a beautiful day. I'm not at work. So, hey, like, dislike, subscribe, comment below. It's on you. Have a good one.